Can you make any money with a 3D printer, a laser, or doing sublimation making this stuff? Oh, you betcha. There'll be a lot of jibber jabber here because I'm going to talk about marketing this type of thing and how you can make some money with your 3D printer, your laser, your hobby CNC, doing sublimation, that type of thing. Not going to go into any specific projects. I'm going to show you some examples of what sells and what did sell real well and now doesn't. So it's all about marketing. I'm Roger, welcome to the loft above the shop, and this little video here is going to be talking about marketing your products. I've done a few videos earlier on, selling and shipping and that type of thing, and then I get a lot of questions, can you really sell that, or can you make any money, with a 3D printer or laser or whatever? Well, yes, you can. However, it all comes down to marketing. You have to find a market for it first. I'm going to give an example of something that's just sold like crazy until China caught on. And that is, and I have videos on this, and that is these Dollar Tree cutting boards, and you sublimate a design on them. This is the back side, that's the front. And we sold these like crazy. And then I guess they kind of caught on over in China. This was a big thing. So we were selling these for 10 bucks. Now you can go down to Dollar Tree and find them with designs on them for $1.25. So that killed the market on them. So unless we're doing some custom ones, we don't really do the glass cutting boards anymore. But for a long time, I was buying cases of them and we were just cranking them out of here, especially around the holidays. Christmas, Halloween, extremely popular. We did a lot geared towards the man caves and the guy's garage and that kind of thing with, things themed towards that. Great sellers, but now you can go to Dollar Tree and buy these already decorated for $1.25, so it kind of killed the market on it. But you have to go with where the market goes. I'm going to give you another example, and it's nothing I do right here. But we have an e-commerce business with greenhouses. So we have 4 of them, and we do a tremendous amount of business with it. What people buy each year changes. And I do not have a crystal ball to know exactly what that's going to be, but we have to kind of ride with the wave on what's popular and what isn't to be able to market those items effectively. And you'll need to do the same thing with any of your craft items. I'll give you some more examples here now of things that sell well. I'm going to start with sublimation. So this is a ceramic tile. Buy this at your home store. And we sublimate designs on these and put a cork backing on them. I don't have one here with a cork back. Yes, I do. Put a cork backing on them like this and sell them either individually or in sets in these coaster holders that we make on our lasers. And these are extremely popular. We also laser engrave coasters as an example of one kind. And these are extremely popular. And if you do pop-up craft shows, you go to craft fairs, and you set these out, good seller. And there's lots of different designs you can do, whether it be the laser engrave. Example, here's an eagle, a shield. This is very, very popular. Be careful if you're going to use insignias like the United States Army or the Navy, or if you're doing Disney characters, you have to be careful there. Those are copyrighted images. Make sure you have the rights to use whatever you're making. As I said, we also do these in color sublimation and sublimate right onto the tiles. And I have a video on that. If you look around and show you how to do that. If you have a small CNC, there's a lot of different things you can make here. This is a little, like cheese board, but it's got a little hole to hang in. This was done on a CNC out of a piece of scrap cherry. And 15 bucks there, no problem selling it. Another thing you can make in sublimation, and it's very, very popular right now, are these skinny tumblers. And we're buying cases and cases and cases of these right now, and I can't hardly keep up with the orders. And no, we don't have them on the website. It's all word of mouth. Set those out of the way here. Mugs. We do a lot of mugs, and one of the real popular designs is sarcastic sayings. For example, this one says, "I'm really not funny, I'm just mean and people think I'm joking." This is one of our more popular mugs, but again, sublimation by cases of blanks. I did a video on how we do these in production. If you're going to make any money on these, you can't just like do one and then, well, let's see if I can sell this. Once you find your market, you need to batch produce. I batch produce everything. I don't just make one and, well, let's see if this sells. I find the market first, and gambling, you're still gambling because sometimes that doesn't work out quite well. But once you have the market and you know that they're going to sell and you've sold quite a few, then mass produce them. Don't just do one at a time. We do some custom mugs with photos in that. Obviously that's a single out, but those sell for more money than one of these two. This is $7, by the way. Oh, and these here, these are 20. And all day long. 20-ounce skinny tumblers, $20. Easy to make. Minimum investment if you're buying the tumblers by the case. Another thing is sublimation on towels. I've got example one here. These, of course, you have to have a big printer to do this size. This 13 by 19 sublimation of what that's called the Tree of Life with a sunset behind it. Things like that are very, very popular as well. And with this particular type of towel, and I did do a video on these, you can actually put a design on both sides, and it does not bleed through. On this particular towel anyway. So what else is a good thing to do? Put mouse pads, $5. And these cost me about $1 to make. And I've got them in plastic bags, so when people are going through the pile and looking at them, they don't get them all nasty. But quick and easy to make. Very, very popular at craft shows and little pop-up craft fairs because these are inexpensive and people are kind of looking for something to buy, and pretty much everybody with a computer wants to have a mouse pad. And there's all kinds of designs you can do. And this here is kind of a fall theme with mouse raking leaves by its mouse house and that tree shedding leaves. We have lots of other designs as well. Moving on to lasers, I do a lot of wood signs. And I mean a lot of them. This here is one here, save water, drink beer. And I've done some beginner laser videos and have given away files to use to make your own. These are mostly made out of cedar fence pickets. Very, very inexpensive. You can buy a 6-foot cedar fence picket for less than $5. You can get several signs out of these, and these will sell anywhere from $10 to $20 depending on what the design is and what's been done with it. For example, here's one, advice from a sunflower. Very, very popular in the spring, and it's got a little hanger hole, and we mark these on the back with our logo as well. And we also do color fill signs, and again we mark them. This one needs to have the color fill finished and then the top finish put on, but this will give you an idea of these type of things are very popular. When you get into the color fill ones, now you're looking at the $20 to $25 range. Okay, staying with the lasers, slate coasters. These are extremely popular as well, and we also make these holders for them, and we can sell those in sets of 4. Depending on the design, a set of 4 like that, and with the holder, anywhere from $20 to $30, depending on, again, what the design is and if it's something that's been personalized. So just trying to give you a few ideas out there on what you can do with your laser and with sublimation. Now with 3D printing, if all you're going to do is sit around and make these little cats that came with your Creality printer, you're not going to have much of a market for it. Everything that I 3D print are what I call parts. They're parts to do things, improve things, build things. I don't do little figures or action figures or helmets or swords or any of the cosplay stuff. I know there's a market for it, and if you can find that market, by golly, have at it, because I know it's popular. But I make parts mostly for lasers. For example, here, that's to mount a drag chain to a stepper motor. It's a bracket for that. This is part of a Z-axis adjustment. This is a drag chain riser for a particular laser. We do a lot of mounts for lasers. This is one for a particular laser here. So once you kind of find a demand for something and nobody else has done it, in other words, you need to build a better mousetrap. So another thing we make are risers for lasers. So, you know, you have your laser set up and you want to use the roller attachment. You need to raise that laser up. Well, I also do layout boards on my lasers where I have a layout grid, so the laser needs to be in the same spot every time. So with that, you mount this to the baseboard, the laser sits in that, so every time you pick it up, put it back, it's in the same place. And then if you need to raise it up, we have these different riser blocks in different sizes. This is a 50 millimeter here, and that just clips in there, set your laser back in there, and you keep, within reason, you can keep stacking. You don't want to go like this high, but, and this is an extremely popular item, and that's why I have printers running almost all the time behind me, is because we're making all these different parts for orders, and those items are on our website because they've become extremely popular. Now, one thing I do not make on 3D printers are parts for 3D printers, because that, to me, I know some people do that, but to me it makes no sense. If you've got a 3D printer, you need a part for it, make it on your printer. You don't need to buy it. So, I mean, I make parts for my printers all the time. So that's something I do not make parts for. Now, getting back to the sublimation market, this is also very popular, is a sublimation on laminate on wood. And you don't have to use this design, of course. This is one we use when I do go to a show. We'll have one of these signs sitting around that what we're making is made here. But there again, that's a popular item, especially if it's personalized. Maybe someone wants to have their grandkid's photo on it or something like that. Those personalized items are very popular. Same with the coffee mugs. You know, maybe grandma and grandpa like to have a picture of their granddaughter on their morning coffee mug. I've done a lot of those custom. Also, people with hot rods. So if you have these skinny tumblers and they have a good photo, or you are a photographer or good at it, people that have invested a lot of money in their cars, and I don't have any of those here right now, but I have done quite a few of those for people with custom rods that we have a picture of the car and I can get it to wrap the tumbler. And they just absolutely love it. And it's a good custom thing to make. And of course there, the price is no longer 20, it becomes 25 because I have to do a lot of photo work with it and get it sized and everything. And if I'm taking the pictures, now it's going to cost them a few beers to do that, at least. So there's something else to keep in mind when you're looking for a market and something to do to make some money with your equipment that you've got money invested in. Now let's talk about copyrights. Some things you just can't do. Here's one example. This is for my own use because I'm a Hamm's beer fan. This is a copyrighted logo. You can't take that and make these and sell them. Well, you can, but if you get caught, you're going to be up the creek without a paddle, so to speak. So copyrighted items, especially Disney items, NFL items, Major League Baseball, the NBA, hockey, you're going to have to get permission to use their logos. And you're going to have to pay to do it. So keep that in mind. That's with copyrighted things like that. Now the next thing is, okay, I've got a 3D printer and I went on Thingiverse and I found this neat rack here you can make for Cricut tools. Here's one right here. And I've found another rack I can make to hold some more parts and pieces and stuff, and I'll just make those and sell them. Well, you can't really do that unless you get permission from the creator. There's a rule there. It's kind of it's common use, or you can make it for yourself all you want, but you're not really allowed to make those and sell them if they're somebody else's design. Now, if you take something like these things, I designed these. I actually designed them in Tinkercad, and it's my design. So yeah, I suppose people could copy them. If you want to copy them, go ahead. You can reverse engineer anything. You could take this here and reverse engineer it and make some changes to it, and then you can call it your own, but you can't make that exact one. So there's something to keep in mind about copyrights. Things like graphics, for example, this graphic on this tumbler right here, I bought this graphic and I own the rights to it, and I can sell as many of these as I want, but I cannot sell the graphic itself, the graphic file. I can make as many of these as I want because I have the license for it, but I can't sell you the graphic. So there's something else to keep in mind if you go on, for example, we get a lot of our designs from designbundles.net. Not sponsored by them, just belong to them. I'm a Premium Plus member, and we buy a lot of designs from there. Sometimes I'll buy a design and I will actually modify it and change it and then make it my own, but it gives me an idea of what I want to do to create something different from their design. But since they've already gone through the work of doing, you know, some of the layout and everything, I can buy that, then change that design myself and put it on some of the projects and things that we sell. Okay, here's an example of changing a design to suit yourself, and then just completely changing the design itself, but you're keeping the same concept. I'm a big DeWalt person. If you've watched any of my videos down in the shop, you know I got all kinds of DeWalt tools. And there was a big joke around, you know, where's it at? Well, it's out in D shed, or you know, it's in D house or in a D garage, and it's become kind of a running joke around our family and our friends. And I saw on Thingiverse somebody had made some signs, little keychain things. Here's one of them that says D shed. I thought, well, that's kind of cool, and it kind of goes along with the joke we have about everything. And I've made, for example, up at camp, I've got signs, you know, about D shed and etc. So I changed that design keychain, and I have now a completely different design, but it's the same concept. So this now says D house, and I've done them with D garage, and of course D shed, and D boat, and D car, D truck. And it's, you know, one of them kind of little fun things. And I've sold quite a few of these, but it's because I changed the design and the concept. I kept the same concept, I just changed the design. And that's perfectly fine. I just can't take this person's exact design and sell it, because that violates the Creative Commons. So, you know, big difference here, but same concept. It's kind of like what some people may think, well, you know, that's kind of shady. Well, a lot of companies do the same thing, especially when you start to look at some of the 3D printers and lasers out there. They're all kind of the same, but, you know, just this is different. So now they haven't violated that somebody else's copyright. Yeah, kind of a gray area, but as long as you don't just directly copy something and you've made significant changes to it, or if you've improved it, that's even better. But so there's something to keep in mind there, that you don't violate somebody's copyright. So there's just, I don't want this video to get too long, so there's just a kind of an overview of some of the things you can do with these different things, whether you're doing sublimation or you have lasers, or laser, 3D printer, 3D printers, either way. It's a way you can make some, like people like call it a side hustle. I'm retired, but we do with our business here. I am making as much now as I was back when I was working. In fact, I'm busier now than when I was working. And for being retired, it's not supposed to work that way. But I'm one of them people I have to keep busy. Can't just sit and watch Wheel of Fortune on TV all day. So I got to stay busy. So if you get anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up. Always helps the channel. Be a couple links here at the end on shipping the things. That's a whole nother category. Once you get established and maintaining inventory and keeping track of inventory and shipping, it becomes complex, but there's a lot of solutions for it. So I'll put some little link boxes around here where you can go and see videos about that. I'm Roger, Loft Above the Shop. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.